I see myself as life expressing itself in human form. I see myself as life. That's it, right? So I am not the body. I'm experiencing it, but I'm more than it, right?
Being in.
Being in, right. So when it comes to things that I have experienced, I am not my experiences. As much as I may allow certain situations or traumas to shape me into the person that I am, whether it be in a negative or a positive way, that's not me. I shouldn't necessarily use those things to create something that's not me when I'm not me anyway. I'm a being, like as we've spoken about the person, the straw man, and the being. We haven't even had time to identify with the being, because all we know is another version of itself in a fictitious reality.
Even when you ask people in this day and age, like, who are you? And they'll go, oh, well, I'm a CEO of a company.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Who are you?
Who are you beyond your title?
And if you ask them that 3 times after they've answered you, it gets to a place for them to where they're like, shit,
I don't know who I am.
I don't know who I am.
Because
the reality is you're nothing but everything at the same time. You are not who you think you are. You are not your experiences. Your experiences are supposed to give you perspective. That is it. It's knowledge. It's information to help you lead. It's information to help you move forward, to give to others, to heal others.
Learning.
It's information. It's nothing else. It's not. It's like people use their traumas to say, oh, well, I'm this because of that. But that was just there to show you something, not for you to use that to add to this fake identity that you live by, because they're not actually operating as the being.
In formation.
Information. The information was already there. You just forgot because you was made to believe that you were something that you're not. So when you're using traumas to create this fake version of self, that's ego to me.
Give an example.
So I've been through some stuff that has hurt me and made me feel negatively towards another, right? I'm using that in a negative way to shape things going forward. That's me giving that power. But in reality,
I guess that's me, because when we look at statistics of like someone who's come through my experience, being mixed race, being in the system, being in a certain area, being a certain class, whatever. And I'm like, how could I be in this space? Because it's like a lot of people say to me, you're an anomaly. You're not the same as everyone. But that's because I've discovered me, and that was my carer saying she's helping me to discover who I am, like beyond all of this labels and past experience and stuff. So now I'm like, well, of course, I'm not gonna be going down certain paths because I know me now, and that's the problem, is like a lot of people get attached to their thought about who they are based on their experiences. It's like, no, boo boo. No, boo boo.
No, but it's like,
you've attached to the experiences and it's not you.
Yes.
Like people will say, I'm shit. I'm a victim. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that.
You're nothing. What is it like for you to be nothing? Do you know how freeing that shit is?
But
do you know how deep?
It's
so deep. Like,
it's the understanding though, because if you say
nothing
to
and everything,
you're nothing and everything.
You say that to an average person, you're nothing. What do you mean I'm nothing? Of course I am something, and you're
but
like,
you really are.
But
nothing
you
and
are
everything.
your
It's what I was
everything.
saying
You're not
last
something.
week or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like no one wants to be free of it all because they're used to using what they've been through to put themselves in a box to say, this is what I am.
Yeah.
When I say to people, I am God, right? That does something to people.
Because they think that's your ego.
Because they think that's my ego. What people don't know, right, is like, I'm not coming from a egotistical place when I say that. It's not about me as in the physical, right? I'm talking about me as the universe, as the universe is inside me.
Yeah, because you've got
that confidence.
What, millions of cells?
So that confidence isn't about how I look, because I'm not perfect in how I look. I'm not perfect in how I speak. I'm human. I'm flawed. I'm operating through this. I am operating through this vehicle, which makes me somewhat like everybody else, right? But if I'm talking about what's within me, that is godly. That can't be touched. That is everlasting. That's the confidence I come with. Not from what I'm doing in society and me operating through my straw man and stuff like that, because that don't mean shit to me personally. But when you say that to people, it threatens them. They don't want to understand it, because it's like the God that they identify with
External from themselves.
is external from themselves.
I'd say you're correct in that.
So
No, it's true. I mean, because we attach to experiences, and that is the one thing that causes people trauma and mental illness, is attaching to experiences and staying stuck there. So you're not in the now, you're stuck in the past or the future. So the future's about what your expectation of what you should have or where you should be, or worrying about what hasn't even come yet, which doesn't make sense. And then it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense when you logicalize it. But then when you look at the past and it's already gone, and our brain has this way about reliving something that's already passed, and you never tell yourself, well, I'm strong for getting over that, and the lesson in that. We always tell ourselves how shit we are, but again, that is part of programming. So
can I just touch on when you were talking about the nothing and something? What I find interesting is that we have a thing where I think everybody does it. I wouldn't say it's males or females, but you see when we want something bad, like bad to the point where it's extremes, have you not noticed that one common saying is it's all or nothing? People want to have it all, or they want nothing at all, and they think that's normal. But yet if you say to someone you're nothing and you're everything, they will argue that there's something. But if you said, well, it's all or nothing, why has it got to be all or nothing? Just here's a little something. Well, I don't want a little something. I want all, or I want nothing.
Let me add to that. Or if you tell them nothing is something.
there you go.
Right. But then they will still argue with a lot of them and say, I don't want something. I want it all, or I want nothing at all. And you're like, so you can comprehend having everything or nothing at all, but that's only because they comprehend it as a loss or a gain. Oh Lord, it's not my fault, guys.
But when you say you want it all, that goes to show you
that you want
you don't
nothing.
know, because you have it all.
But which is why you want nothing.
But that's why we say about not acquiring, inquiring, because you don't realise you already got it.
And this is the thing.
What our system has done is made you look outside
of
to try and find your happiness, when your happiness is already here. You already have access to it. Because when you ask people, some people are like, I've been depressed for years and I've been upset, and you're like, and most times I have this conversation with people, they're not upset. This is what's interesting. So they're not upset, they're in a good state right now, but they're telling themselves they're unhappy. I'm saying, but what about right now? You're in a good place right now, because you're not crying, you're not. And then they go into put forth the past experiences, and then they make themselves unhappy. I'm like, this is the problem, is that this system, the cyst in your stem, which is disease in your stem, stem of your brain, so it's teaching you to look outside of yourself for answers, and dangling loads of carrots that are dead.
You know what the best part of that is, though, Jay? Do you know what the best thing that they've ever taught us to do? Lose ourselves. When from you're born, you grow into knowing yourself, right? When you're in the womb, you're already trying to move your limbs, you're doing whatever. You come out, you're getting used to the light, you're used to touch. As a baby, you start reaching out to understand things. As a child, whoa, that thing's moving. How is it moving? You're learning. As a child, have you ever heard a child say, "I don't know myself"?
No.
We do it as we become older. And we get, and then you see how you said it. Not that it's a bad thing because you're at that place, but naturally, what are you doing? I'm on a journey of finding myself. Who the hell told you was lost? We have been made to feel that we lose ourselves, and we all do it. I'm guilty of it.
So you know when they call you a lunatic, this is what's interesting. Someone was explaining it to me the other day. She was speaking about it, but the original where that come from is the moon.
Lunar.
So when the lunar. When there's a full moon, you're energetically connected to the moon. So of course there's going to be
which is why the association with werewolves is with moons.
And so that's why you won't ever.
Comes with the moon.
That's part of yourself, being attached to everything.
Why are you triggering me now? Allow me. No, that just brought me back to our episode of the sun and the moon, life and death. Think about it. Werewolves. The minute the full moon's out, the wolf starts howling, everything starts going crazy. The dark skies, the bright light. Always seen as a hold on. Even when you refer to death, what do they say? I saw a bright light. There was the light at the end of a tunnel. So there's always a dark hole or a dark gloomy thing and a spot of light to bring you. And it's the only time I've really heard it used in a positive sense is when it does become a thing with Christianity, when they'll say, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, or so there's always something positive to look forward to. But that's only for that particular line. Otherwise, as you said, you don't hear them calling people crazy because of the sun. It's not associated to the sun to be crazy. That's when we're at our craziest points.
And I'm going to ask people, don't believe us, mark down the days when there's a full moon and see how
the behaviour of people.
Mad.
It's mad.
And we begin to tick, as we call it.
It's mad how you genuinely see us being connected. It's on a more of a spiritual level when it's with the moon, right? When it's summertime, have you not noticed? Well, we'll say, what's wrong with people? When the sun comes out, everyone acts mad.
Yes.
You see people dress different. Like obviously we dress differently because of the climate. But forget the climate. On a day, when you have like the hottest day, you're like, people are moving mad today, So even if you watch movies, take this. When people are running away and they're just running away, they tend to get on a plane. They fly out to here, there, or wherever. But they always go to some exotic island where it's beach life and they can relax where they got peas. When people are not running away, they're still running away, but when they're on the run, notice in movies you see them on a boat. Have you ever clocked that? You'll see them, they got the peas, I got away, but it's a slow getaway. They'll be there chilling on the biggest yacht with all the drinks, enjoying the sun, sailing on the water. The water's going to make you calm down.
If we look at like how they look at cells, and cells are intelligent. Each cell, we've got like millions or billions of cells in us. So within us is literally a universe. But we don't actually understand.
It is.
Even if they go under the microscope, it
so
looks like one.
Have
you seen that image where it says inside? It shows
when they look into your eyes,
when
they look into your eyes,
listen,
it's the universe. Like we are. This is what I'm saying about God. Like when I say I am God, that's what I'm talking about. But when I say the universe is within me, I'm talking about the sea, the sun, the earth.
That's why they use the eyes
air,
in films
because
like that as well.
Without the air, I can't breathe. Without the heat, without the earth, I can't grow. Like without
without water.
I am it. I am of it. So
but even our birth in itself, we're seeds.
We suffer, right, as a people because we're acting smaller than what we really are. We are the entire universe. This is why we suffer, because we're being contained in this.